Angels are here. They're not primarily here to tell us some earth-shattering message. They are here to love us and support us and to be our friends and to be in relationship with us. 9 times out of 10, when I help someone start channeling for the very first time, you know what the first things out of their mouth are? We love you. We're here. We've always been here. And, so don't worry if there's not any big extravagant words or messages. Just feel the love.
Hello, this is Julie. Welcome back to the USG podcast. And I am going to just tell you right now, this episode, it is a game changer. You are going to want to give yourself some time to really digest. I'm bringing back my dear friend and amazing medium and channel, Anjie Hipple, who channels the Judah channel. And I won't give it away, but she does bring in other intergalactic, incredibly powerful light beings who share really, really powerful wisdom. So if you are curious about how to get past your subconscious, how to get into your superconscious, how to really access that greater aspect of you, your higher self, your youest you, and to do so in a way that's going to bring more peace and joy and freedom in your life. If you're looking to expand your connection to spirit, to the guides that are working with you with these beautiful light beings, this episode is for you. We also went way into the galactic realm as well, my friend. And all I'm going to say is, you know me, we did not miss any questions. Put on your seatbelt. This conversation is really one that I feel is going to bless anyone and everyone that tunes in. So as always, I'm so grateful to be here, to be with you, to be part of your life journey in being your USU. I hope you love and enjoy this really beautiful, powerful spiritual conversation with Anjie. And as always, please leave your comments below, especially if you're watching on YouTube. Let me know. Let us know. What did you think? Any other questions that you have? What did you feel listening to this? What showed up in your energy? We'd love to know. All right. Enjoy the conversation. Hello, soul friend. Welcome back to the USU podcast. Oh my goodness. Well, let me just say this. I am so grateful for my beautiful, beloved guest today, Anjie Hipple. She is back. If you did not watch our first conversation together, we'll put the link here. You must watch that. It was one of the most powerful conversations I have ever had, and I have interviewed hundreds of people. Anjie, I am so excited and grateful to have you back. I feel like I just have been flooded with questions, both from YouTube, like we got so many comments in that interview, and then from my own self. So today is just going to be so magical, and I'm so thankful for you and your gracious time and willingness to be back here again.
Thank you for having me back, Julie. I'm so excited. Yeah, we had such a good time. And the interview was so profound, and many people have checked in with me and said, "Hey, I started channeling for the first time while watching that episode with you and Julie." So it was a really great time.
Amazing. Yeah, that was, just to give a quick overview, so for those of you who haven't seen it, I remember asking you for the person who hasn't channeled before, what is that like? How do you do that? And you walked me through the experience. You who've been channeling the Judah channel, I was able to tap into the Judah channel. It was like one of the more amazing, powerful experiences of my life. And then Archangel Michael came through. And if I'm being honest, I just will share this. I have actually not rewatched it. It was so powerful in the moment. I really have no desire to see it again. But I just to live in it. But we've gotten so many responses that others have been learning how to channel from that conversation, from your guidance. Amazing.
And I love that you didn't go back and rewatch it. Sometimes we just need to hold certain things sacred and, just really treasure them in our inner being. Yeah, it was beautiful. It was your channeling birthday.
It was my channeling birthday. I love that. Yes. Yes. I actually, and I don't know if you saw this, and I think it's good to just bring this up because, I've been saying, it's felt like for me, and I would love to hear your thoughts, because you've really come out of the spiritual closet. Like for me, it's been feeling like
Mhm.
that the last year or so. I'm like, God, I'm so drawn to this work and to channeling and mediums and connecting with spirit
Mhm.
and these higher realms. It's like I can't get enough of it. I'm so thirsty for it. And it feels so, it's like my meest me that I'm living into. And that was really vulnerable for me. I had never
Yes.
done that. And
Mhm.
yeah, it brought up, we had somebody who spoofed it. I don't know if you saw that.
Oh,
Someone who
yeah.
took, yeah, yeah, yeah. I had a friend who said, Julie, you've made it when someone has spoofed you. I was like, oh, good
Right.
Lord.
Somebody makes a YouTube video making fun of you. It's
Yeah,
great. It's awesome. Well,
I think,
I love that you, excuse me. I love, Julie, that you use the word coming out of the closet, right? And talking about feeling vulnerable. So, in order to come out of the closet, you have to first go in the closet, and going in the closet is, doing your interior work, doing the meditation, looking at your dark side, sifting and sorting through all this conditioning and things we've been told and all that. And praying, really praying and meditating. And then when you've done all that, you can come out of the closet. And it reminds me of Jesus actually talked about the closet. He said, when you when you're going to pray, go into your closet and do it. Don't do it out on the street corner for everybody to see and hear,
mm,
and he said, and what you do in your prayer closet, will eventually be shouted from the rooftops, you know?
mm,
So that's like what happened for you is, I think what he was saying by that is, you know, we're not doing all this to be out front, right? To be standing on the street corner saying, look at me. You go in the closet and you do your own interior work and you're really diligent at it where nobody else sees it, nobody else hears it. It's just between you and divinity, your divine self, and your angels and your connection with source. And if you do that long enough, eventually what is going on inside of you and all the beauty and the transformation will be shouted from the rooftops, you
mm.
know? But you gotta go
That,
in the closet before you come out.
yes, this is important. Okay. You're listening, you're with us, take in what Angie just said. I just
Mhm.
got this full bodied, like, head to toe confirmation of what you just said is so powerful. Number one, I think sometimes I know for me, I'll speak for myself. Like, I don't really like to be in the closet with something. I don't like the darkness, which we will talk about this again. We are gonna, by the way, for all of our beautiful listeners, we're definitely going to be bringing in Judah and others. It's going to be really, really fun. And it actually reminds me when you said that of that like primordial dark womb, like
Mhm.
that's where things get shaped and shifted and created. And so,
Mhm.
even that we've got to honor that there's a darkness and that coming out of it, that it's part of us as spirit taking on a human experience. It's part of,
Mhm.
I know for me, there were times where I wanted to push it down or avoid it or not have that. And what I found is that does not work. That does not work.
Yeah, and I love that image of the womb too, and the closet being like a womb. If a baby comes out of the womb too soon, that's not a good thing, right? The baby needs to stay in
Mm.
there until all the parts are formed and all the pieces are there. And that's a lot of our spiritual life too. We need to sometimes be content with being in the womb, being in the closet, and just kind of sitting with our own creation of what's going on in our inner being before we come out, and also intuitively trust our coming out process, right? Now, I have never had to come out of the closet uh, around my sexuality. And so I
Yeah.
can't speak to that directly because I haven't directly had that experience, but I can to some degree imagine how challenging and difficult that is, right? But, and we can use that analogy about our spiritual life too. I mean, when we go into the grocery store, we don't shout, "Hey, I'm a medium, I'm a psychic, I'm a channeler," or, or And you know, even with just like with someone who's coming out with their sexual identity, they're careful about who they tell and how and when, you know, and for good reason. And they use their intuition about how and when they share that kind of information because it's very vulnerable. Well, we
Yeah.
kind of maybe need to have some thought too about how and when we're coming out, you know, and what we say. Some people, they ask me what I do, I'll say, I mean, I'm a YouTuber, or I'm a content creator, or I'm an author. All those things are true, you know, but I don't always come right out and say, I'm a channeler, or I'm a medium, or I talk to dead people. There's just no reason to do that. That's like burning a bridge, you know, when you could establish a relationship with some people that just aren't ready to hear that, you know.
And I think that comes back to really trusting your intuition and
Mhm.
trusting energy. And really, I love what you said, going back to this idea. You said that Jesus talked about having these prayers, these beautiful divine connections, to do that in your closet, in a private space.
Mhm.
And I kept hearing the and at some point, you know, and I would imagine in divine timing, meaning the timing that we may not understand in our own brains, but that is for the highest good, that will be known by others if it is for the highest good. It's sort of what I'm
Mhm.
hearing. It's
Yeah,
beautiful.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Mhm.
Well, that's my intention. I actually asked us to set our intentions publicly together because it's a sacred moment. And I think I'm already feeling it. So by the way, I have to tell you, I don't normally run warm. I am like sweating my head off. I can already feel your energy, Judah's. I'm like, what is happening? So I'm just saying, if people see sweat, yeah, it's real. And it is what it is.
Yep.
Just feeling the energy.
Mhm.
I would love to set an intention with you, and we're going to call in. So you, our beloved listener, watching now, watching later, whenever it is, we're going to bring you in. First of all, we can do that because we're all connected. I would love to just set this intention, Angie, where every human being, anyone listening at any time, is
Mhm.
able to take this and to have that moment, that sacred moment in their heart, in their inner closet, in
Mhm.
themselves, where they can really tune into what is it that they want. What do you want to
Mhm.
really, what are you praying over or asking for or looking for, wanting to manifest? And that this conversation will be, um, it will help to magnify those prayers.
Mhm. Good.
Yeah. All right. Let's start with, would you like to lead us in an intention?
Sure. Well, my first wish is that everyone listening will shift happily now. Mhm. And that everyone listening will have a clearing of any obstacles, inward obstacles in the thoughts and emotions, external obstacles and circumstances, any obstacles that are keeping you from being your you, your truest you, connected to your higher self, living your divine purpose. So I do set that intention that you will be freer when you leave this conversation than when you came in. You will be lighter. You will be brighter. You will be shifting towards more happiness, more integration. I also set the intention that any parts or aspects or patterns, predispositions, old memory structures, old neural networks that aren't serving you well anymore, that are keeping you bound up, will be dissolved and completely neutralized and released during this time. And also that you would find your own connection to Judah, to your angels, to your guides, that connection will be stronger than ever when you leave this place, and that the floor of your personal level of consciousness will be higher than it was before you entered the conversation, and the ceiling of your personal level of consciousness will also be permanently higher than it was when you entered the conversation.
Beautiful. I'll just quickly add, so beautifully said, may this conversation be a blessing. Oh, makes me want to cry. May it bless every single beating heart that tunes in for now and forevermore. And may you fully remember, have a remembrance of the light, the spark, the divine that is you, that always will be you. You have nothing to prove, no worthiness to seek, because it's always part of who you are. And so may this be a blessing. And Anjie, thank you for the blessing being here.
You. And one more, I just want to say, may you feel absolutely, completely, thoroughly, unconditionally loved through and through. May you feel forgiven in all realms of time and space. And may you forgive and love yourself in all realms of time and space. And feel Judah's deep, deep love and gratitude and appreciation for you and your journey.
Oh, and so it is.
So it is.
Ooh. Well, now I'm really sweating.
Sorry about that, sister.
Ooh, it's okay. Wow, it's powerful. This energy is real. Beautiful, beautiful.
It is. And that's how I know when Judah's coming around in the evenings to channel, I will catch on fire. My physical body will just light up and be hot from head to toe. And that's how I know that they're there. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
And those
Well,
physical sensations, we can learn to just really trust them, right? Because, our mind will always say, well, this isn't real, or this is just your imagination, or you're just having a hot flash, or whatever stories the mind tells us about stuff. But the body never lies, right? And so we can learn to recognize these different things going on in our body and those.
I think we're gonna pick up that thread. I'm gonna give you a moment, so I'll just let everyone know Anjie has graciously offered to bring in Judah, and we're gonna ask Judah. There are some other beings I would love to ask about bringing in. We'll see what Judah has to say. I'm gonna let you and Judah, this beautiful consciousness group that's going to be channeling through you, take it away, and I will just be asking questions.
All right.
And it's just going to be magical. I know it.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay. All right. So give Anjie a moment, and you just let me know when you're ready, Anjie.
I'm ready. Anytime, dear.
Okay. All right. Well, welcome back, Judah. I feel so much heat, so I can feel you. I am feeling super high on life, just your positive energy. So I'm assuming you are here in the house.
Yes, dear Julie, we are here and we are very happy to share again with you. Yes, looking forward to this time and connecting with all of your beautiful family, your beautiful growing family. We love the youest you, the youest you. We know this youest you. We see it. 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 We always have our eye on the youest you. We see the you that is pure, that is untainted by life. Yes. We see the USU, that is your eternal essence. It is so beautiful. We love that it has a unique expression in each and every one of you. And we are all about setting you free to be this USU, peeling away what isn't that, whatever that is for you. Let's just drop it here. Drop it and leave it right here. We give you permission to be who and what you are without any judgments or limitations from within or without. Never any judgment from heaven. Never any judgment and never any limitation. We are always in support of who and what you are.
Oh my goodness. Okay. So, Jude, I have so many questions, and I'm just going to start right here. Being your USU, I can feel your completely seeing this and knowing this. For us humans, the spirit in human form, so many of us can get mired up and stuck in stories and beliefs and feeling not good enough and all of this sludge, and it can get like the gunk that you get in your gutters. What can you share? What can we do for someone who's listening who is like, I'm just so sick of feeling not good enough. I'm so sick of I know in my head that I'm divine, but I don't feel it. What can we do to really see and feel and be, to be your USU, to be my meest me, when sometimes it's hard to tap into that?
Yes, we love this question. We love it very much. So understand that anyone and everyone who is listening to an episode such as this one is giving their conscious attention to growing spiritually. That is why you are here. That is why you are listening. And if you're watching this episode, you are likely doing many other things as well. Perhaps you are reading, meditating, going to yoga. Maybe you have crystals. There can be an endless list of various things that you are doing to try to elevate your level of consciousness, to grow, to be your US you, yes? And there can be a lot of value in many of those things, yes? So understand that these are all of your conscious intentions and attention, yes? But this is the answer to your question, my dear. This conscious attention is only accounts for 5% of your thoughts, feelings, actions, and impressions in any given moment of time. In this second, 40 bits of information are being processed in your conscious mind. And so all of you lovely ones are putting so much beautiful effort into your growth. We see that. And we also hear you say, but why? But why is this still an issue? Why is that still an issue? Why am I still struggling with this, that, and the other when I've given so much conscious attention to my personal transformation? We will tell you, because 90 to 95% of what is going on is being push, pulled, driven by your subconscious mind, by unconsciousness in the subconscious mind. So this is a proven scientific fact. We understand this. There are subconscious beliefs below the surface that are causing all of this behavior. And so in your subconscious mind, 40 million bits of information per second are being processed. Yes. Now, what is in this subconscious mind? It is a milieu of all sorts of things. It is every single thought, feeling, impression, sensory impression of the five senses, every experience, every memory that you have ever had from the moment that you first came to be in your mother's womb. And yes, there are even impressions from the story of your soul in this unconscious mind, unconscious, subconscious. Now, we say all this to say, if you are stuck, if you are caught in a pattern of thought, an emotion, a feeling such as I'm not worthy, I'm not good enough, whatever it is that you are stuck in that keeps showing up for you, definitely has its roots in this unconscious mind, especially if you are aware of it consciously and giving attention to change it. And your efforts are not succeeding. It's not because you've done something wrong or you're not doing enough of something. It's not that you need to effort more. It's not that you need to read more books, watch more videos, or do any of those things. And it's not that you are the spiritually slow one. It's not that. It is these unconscious beliefs buried in the subconscious mind. They must be dealt with energetically on the subconscious level. There are those, such as this vessel, and there are others as well, who are experts in this area. You must tune into them, and you must learn how to tap in to your subconscious mind with energetic, quantum, psychology strategies, such as the one this vessel employs. And when you do that, and you listen passively to these ones, then your subconscious mind can become your very best friend. And this is what we want. There is a way in which your subconscious mind can be instructed. And once it has been properly instructed, it will literally go to work cleaning house down in there, cleaning house and throwing out things. So what is in the subconscious is your memories. You have a memory stored from every single second you have experienced in this life. Everything has been stored as a memory. It's all in there. And so when you look, let's say, at a menu in a restaurant, and you see there, you're trying to make a decision, and you see there, let's say, a burger or a salmon or whatever the choices are, you may perceive that you are making a conscious choice in the moment based on what you want. But that is not true. The truth is you are making an unconscious choice based on your memories of everything you've ever eaten in your life and everything you've ever heard about what you should and shouldn't eat. And every experience you've ever had when your mother said, don't eat that, eat this, and so on. You see, there are literally millions of moments coming to bear as you look at that menu and choose something from the menu. So to be a master, to be a spiritual master, to be an enlightened one, is to master your mind. Well, you can't master your mind by controlling your mind, because your mind does what it does. Yes, this is like trying to tell a 2-year-old not to have a tantrum. You see, so how you master your mind is you get to know the subconscious. You begin to learn how to utilize it as your friend, how to clean house, how to disassociate, dissolve unconscious memories. And so you don't have all that information yet. We can lead you to that, but we will give you something right now that you can do. You can say, Judah, when you're having a moment, let's say you're feeling weepy for no reason, or frustrated with a partner or a child or a coworker, and you know it's not them. You know it's something in you, something in that subconscious that's being triggered by the moment, by the scenario. And you may not know then how to clear it in that moment. So we will tell you. It's okay that you don't know. We will help. You simply say, Judah, this feeling I'm having right now, would you please tag and treat this thoroughly and clear it in all realms of time and space? So why this tag and treat? Well, you can imagine for a moment all of this milieu of things in your subconscious. Now pretend like every thought, every memory you've ever had, pretend like these are like cows in a herd of cattle. Yes. And they all look sort of alike, and they're all milling around together. Yes. And so imagine, and also leaving a lot of poo, we will say, making a lot of mess. So if you imagine that one cow there, you want to keep track of it. You want to know how it's doing. You want to make sure that it's faring well. Yes, you would tag its ear, would you not, so that you could identify it later, maybe perhaps with a number and so on. So when you're asking angels to tag and treat, what you're saying is, angels, I'm being triggered right now. I don't know exactly why I'm being triggered. I know it's something in my subconscious, an old memory, an old hurt, an old pain, an old wound. And perhaps it's more than one of these experiences. Perhaps I've felt this feeling that I'm feeling right now. Perhaps I've felt it hundreds of times in my lifetime. Will you please tag all of these memories, all of these in my neural network? And will you please make sure they don't get lost down underneath the surface in my subconscious again? Will you please keep track of them and continue working on them till they are 100% completely cleared, until they are not affecting anything about my being anymore, until they have been neutralized of negativity and integrated back into my higher self? And we will help you with that, you see.
This is such a powerful and simple piece of wisdom. Like, I did not learn this in high school. I'm just saying, this is not taught in our curriculum. This is just, it's so powerful what you're saying, Judah. I am curious. The question for me, and I can feel for others, so it can feel very much like we're solo, right? Like we're individual bodies, we're individuals, even though we're all connected. And it's funny, just as I said that, my cat just joined me. She's literally right here. You'll see her tail going around the screen. And I think about this often. My cat can't understand my language, right? Like, so she can feel me, but she can't really understand English. Not that I know. And sometimes I wonder, when we're connecting in with the higher realms, like you, it's like we only have the apparatus we have. We have this brain that's beautiful. We've got our body. We've got intuition. So what are ways that we can start to really be able to communicate more with the higher realms? And the second question, well, I'll wait for the second question. I have so many. I'm going to just monitor myself. But for someone who's newer to this, like, could it just be as easy as I'm going to call in Judah? I may not be able to feel you or see you, but I'm going to trust that there is something way beyond me that is here helping me. Just what do we do when it's, we're the cat and, we can't fully see, or know that guidance yet?
Yes, certainly. We love this question. So we spoke of the conscious and the subconscious, and then you have heard this term floating around, the superconscious, which is a term that was developed eons ago by Carl Jung. And he only said a couple of lines about it. He just simply said in conversations, written letters with a friend and a colleague, I think there is some other aspect of the conscious besides the conscious mind and the subconscious. There's some other mystical aspect. I will call it the superconscious. He said, I think it's beyond our ability to understand. Yes? And so he was beginning to discover, as many of us know, there is something that animates the body. Yes? It is your life force energy. And this is your superconscious. This is your consciousness. Yes? And it is meant to be at the helm of both your conscious and your unconscious mind. Your superconscious is your divinity. It is your soul. It is the youest you. Your superconscious is connected to your higher self. What is your higher self? It's not a slang term like higher power in 12-step. It is not just a meme. You see, your higher self is every lifetime that you have ever lived. It is every single incarnation of your soul in every realm of time and space, past, parallel, and future realities, lifetimes that you have had and will have. This is your higher self. We are the higher self of this vessel. There are 350,000 incarnations in past, parallel, and present and future realities of this higher self that we call Judah. Sekhmet is one of those. The Christ was one of those. Yes? Judah in the Bible was one of those. Anjie Hipple is one of those. And so your soul is enclosed. It is in your precious and beautiful body. Yes? And it is meant, this superconscious soul, to instruct your conscious and your unconscious mind and your auric field and many, many other things you are meant to instruct, to command, to create. It is your superconscious is your ability to be an infinite creator being. And this part of you is always connected to source, to angels, and to your higher self, which is all of your incarnations, every incarnation of your soul. So many of you will say, well, I don't feel any connection. I don't see angels. I don't feel them. I don't hear them. Well, that is all fine, but we can tell you that that is not true. You are absolutely connected, whether you see, feel, hear, taste, touch them or not. And so you must begin to operate in trust, operate in faith, yes? And continue on. We can tell you why sometimes you don't see, hear, touch. Well, for one reason, because you say, I can't see angels. I can't hear them. I can't. So we encourage you, please don't say, I can't. For one thing, it's simply not true. And if you continue to say that, well, that's for Julie, that's for Anjie, that's not for me. Well, we say to that, that's completely untrue. It's hogwash. It's what this one can do, anyone can do. As she many times jokingly sings, anything you can do, I can do better. Yes? And so it's for everyone. So you must begin on faith. Understand, if you're not seeing, hearing, experiencing in the moment, it's simply because you have some debris to be removed, and it shall be removed in due time. As you continue on in the closet that this vessel spoke of earlier, continue on in meditation, continue on. Do it on your worst days, do it on your best days, and do it every day. This vessel had many days she was chronically ill. She really was thinking that her life was likely over, that she would end up dead. She really had lost hope on many, many levels. but she kept meditating anyway. And then one day we showed up. So don't quit on the day right before you're getting ready to have a miracle, you see. And so keep going. And we think we've lost the thread of your question, my dear. So we will defer back to you to put us back on track.
Oh, there is no off track. First of all, this is just beautiful. What I'm curious about, and we talked about this a little bit in the last conversation, Judah, but I can feel this for others. So Anjie brought in you, Judah, and we use the term spirit guides, right? We use the term guides. Love this reminder, by the way. And this is what I've been trying to say. You said it much more eloquently. Your USU is your higher self, which everybody has, which is many, 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 many lives. To me, I keep feeling like it's the most wisest, loving aspect that is beyond probably what we may all even be able to understand, but we can tap into. Going back to spirit guides or to guides, is it that we each have our own quote unquote Judah to tap into? Is it loved ones that are here with us also? Like, let's talk for a minute about the idea that each of us can connect. We could connect to Judah, which
Yes. So your original question, we remember now, is about consciousness. So this superconscious aspect, each one of you has consciousness. It is what defines what it means to be alive. Yes. And so when you are dead, then your consciousness has left your body. Yes. But your consciousness is never dead. It is always alive. It is eternal. And everyone has this eternal aspect. Now, some persons, their consciousness is more covered up by hurt, pain, karma, negative experiences, and so on. And so there can be a little more effort then required to uncover this consciousness, but is there nevertheless. Now, your consciousness, your super consciousness, is also a part of the all. So imagine a beautiful summer day, and there are many, many, many beautiful white fluffy clouds on a summer blue sky. Yes. And so each of these clouds could represent an individual consciousness. And then these clouds moving together, then they bump into and collide with one another and become one another, do they not? So one cloud might merge with a second or third or fourth, and there you are. See, this is how our consciousnesses are. Yes. And so your consciousness can merge at any time with any other consciousness. Yes. So to clarify, your individual consciousness that emanates from your higher self resides in your body. That is called your soul. And so it emanates or comes from or is an aspect or part of your higher self. So your higher self, if you imagine a granddaddy long legs, yes? The granddaddy's body is the higher self, and each leg is a different incarnation of the soul. But all of them are a part of the whole. So you asked, how do I connect with my higher self? So yes, you can connect with us, with Judah, because our primary passion and purpose is to help others to connect with their higher self. So we act as a surrogate, as a midwife, as a foster parent. And so we are there as an interim to help you get, to show you the way, to help you get connected so that then you can then develop the relationship with your higher self. And so because this is our passion, anyone can channel with our assistance. They can channel us, Judah, and as anyone can channel any consciousness in truth. In truth, you can channel any consciousness in the cosmos once you learn some very simple principles. And so you simply begin by deciding who it is you want to connect with. Just as when you hold a cell phone in your hand, you may think, I have a few moments. Who do I want to connect with? Mhm. Or you may have a specific reason why you need to connect with someone, and you know exactly who you want to connect with and why, and you simply pick up the phone and dial them. Or it can be, as we said, a looser, more just desire to connect, and you think about who you want to call that you haven't caught up with in a while, and you do that. And it's just that simple. It is just that simple. Many times this vessel has sat down, she's been perhaps reading a book or thinking about pondering some different aspects of life. And she once, for instance, said, I really would like to talk to Albert Einstein. I would like to ask him about this thing that he did and this thing that he said. I wonder if I could channel Albert Einstein. What is this word channeling? What does it even mean? It just simply means that you merge your consciousness with another consciousness. That is all. And it is as simple as two clouds merging in the sky. And so she thought, well, why not? I'll try it. And so she sat down and allowed in her inner being, just asked in her inner being, may I please locate the consciousness of Albert Einstein? And within moments, Albert Einstein was speaking through her. Mm-hmm. And so you can connect with anyone that you want to. So then once you have learned to do this, we recommend that you begin this kind of process with someone like ourselves who can be like a bouncer at the door of the nightclub. Yes? You need someone with a little brawn and a little street smarts to make sure that the wrong connections are not made. Yes? And so we ask you to begin with someone that you love and trust, an entity that you have respect for and know the quality and integrity of their message, to be loving and wise. And then once the connections have been made, you begin to use your discernment. Understand that just because there is a consciousness on the other side doesn't mean you want to connect with them necessarily. It doesn't mean that you should be afraid of them, but you don't want to be naive. You want to use your discernment. Yes?
I frankly have been connecting with you because now that we
Yes.
had that experience, I
Mm-hmm.
just feel like you're a friend.
Yes, we agree.
Is it that we all have, we all have this conscious, collective conscious realm with its own specific name? Am I getting too caught up in the vernacular? Like, maybe break it apart. What does this look like for each of us? So with exactly what you just said, we had a lot of comments on YouTube after our first conversation, Judah. And without getting off the topic here, I think this is a great little segue. I do want to ask in a moment who we might dial up. But before that, got the question a lot, like, how do you know you're not bringing in, a consciousness that would not be of the highest light, would not be ideal, would not be in the realm of what you would want to connect with, is a way I would say it. How do we know? I mean, I have my thought on it, but would love to hear, how do we make sure we're really coming from that place of dialing the most loving, highest realm possible?
Mm-hmm. Yes, absolutely. Well, it's very simple. You use the same discernment and discretion that you use in your everyday life. If someone knocked on your front door, you would likely be able to, within a few seconds after opening the door, have some instinct and discernment about what the person wants, why they might be on your door, what sort of person they are, and whether or not you would feel comfortable having them in your home. Would you agree? If you open the door to a little child, maybe 4 or 5 years old, who was perhaps crying, lost, you would immediately welcome them in, would you not, and be of assistance? Yes? And if you open the door to a grandmotherly woman, let's say, with a big smile on her face, who had a warm hug and perhaps a warm meal in her hand, certainly you would welcome her in. If there was a stranger there and you had an instinct that this was not a safe person, you would likely not have even opened the door at all, now would you? And so you simply use the same discernment. You can feel the energy of every consciousness in the universe, whether they are in a body or out of the body. Yes? Just as you do with human beings. And so understand that many consciousnesses, once you begin channeling, you've opened the door to communication, maybe not as distinctly or uniquely as this vessel has, but you've opened yourself up. You're allowing yourself to swim in this pool of consciousness. There are some beings who simply are like a crying child that want to be heard. They feel lost, you see. They are in the fourth dimension, perhaps, or perhaps even in the fourth and operating much in the third as well. And they simply want to be heard. They simply want some comfort. It is up to you to decide if you want to extend that comfort and that care and that compassion. There are others simply that you do not want to let in at all. But we would say there's never need to be afraid. Yes? Never need to be afraid at any time. You are an autonomous, infinite creator being. If you are attracting fearful beings, it's because you're afraid inside. If you're attracting angry spirits, it is because you are angry. And so anything that you are attracting, whether it is in a human form or outside of a human form, is a reflection of what is going on in your interior being. Yes? And so what you will find is what this vessel finds with many that she works with, perhaps 10, 20 years ago, maybe or as a child, they had a frightening experience with an entity, perhaps in their sleep or so on. And so they have shut the door to communicating with other consciousnesses. But when they open that door again, many years later, they find that the experience is completely different because you see their level of consciousness has expanded dramatically. So as you're doing your interior work on your own thoughts and feelings and emotions and raising your own level of consciousness, you very naturally are attracted to more elevated beings from elevated states. And frankly, the kind of spirits that you wouldn't want to have around really have no interest in you. Yes? For example, why would, let's say, a person who was very extremely addicted, let's say to heroin, perhaps, would that person be knocking on your door to come in for dinner with your family? Likely not. Likely not. They would likely have their own circles of friends that they would be running with, and you would not be a part of that.
Hey, my love, it's Julie. I just wanted to pause really briefly and share with you because I often forget to share this. And although I love this podcast, I love hosting it, it's one of my greatest joys. I wanted to let you know that if you are looking for greater support in your life to help manifest what matters most, so that might be, maybe something to do with your career, taking that next step, up-leveling your identity to really step into what's really aligned for your soul's purpose. It could be calling forth your right fit relationship or healing a health condition, or just maybe help with manifesting anything. I wanted to let you know I do have a few spots open. I love supporting big-hearted, soulful individuals. I've been doing that for years, over 15 years. I've worked with hundreds of incredible individuals. And, as a certified master intuitive life coach, as a psychic intuitive, as somebody who cares deeply about you and you being your youest you, it would be such an honor to work with you. So if you're interested to learn more, go to juliereisler.com/you-me. You can check out my intuitive guidance and manifestation sessions, mentorship opportunities, whatever feels aligned for you. And, I think of it as these are divine appointments. So if it calls to you, reach out, apply, love to meet with you, love to support you. And either way, I'm so grateful to be here on your journey. Lots of love always. What comes up as you're explaining is also the reminder we have free will. And I don't know, I heard this as well. Something I know I do is to just set the intention. I only want to, it's like getting out your phone and saying like, I'm only calling up a number in South Carolina. I'm not calling Ethiopia right now. Like, even though I could call Ethiopia. So that intention, it sounds like one of the things we need to remember is our own incredible connection and power and free will and ability to say, this is who I want to connect with. We have that very strong part of ourselves that I think sometimes we forget, is what I'm hearing. There's an aspect of that.
Yes, you are all powerful. And you always have power unless you have given up your power. And if you've given up your power, then you're responsible for that and responsible to take it back. Yes. But understand that love begets love, fear begets fear. Dogs have puppies, cats have kittens. Ducks have ducklings. Yes. And so whoever and whatever you are, you will reproduce and attract more of that. And so there's never any need to be afraid of any sort of spirit or consciousness or interaction in a metaphysical realm. Because if you are a loving, high consciousness person, that is all you will attract. That is all you can beget. And even if an entity were to come around, it would simply only feel comforted, and its emotional pain would be smoothed out and comforted by your loving presence. And that is a good thing.
Let's talk for a minute. It's like you must be reading what I'm about to ask you. Clearly, which I know you can do. I'm like, wow, this is like teeing up perfectly, Judah, the next question, which is to ask about both the different dimensions, the many, many dimensions, and the different star systems and galactic beings. And, what I've heard, some people will say, oh, wow, you really feel like you're Palladian, or you really feel like you come from Sirius, or have you connected with Andromeda? So these different star systems, or the term star seed. So I asked you a lot in that question. That was like a stacked question, but perhaps to just chip away, what's really happening? What is it that for us to try to understand as human beings, the different dimensions and then these different star systems, and how do we fit in that? How do we connect to that? Are we part of that? Do we have a soul stream that's in other dimensions at the same time? I'm going to just let you have fun with that one.
Yes, well, there are enormous potentialities of all sorts for every soul. And yes, certainly there are parallel lives. In fact, all of your lives are happening simultaneously in this moment. Likely, everyone, with very few exceptions, every soul that we are speaking to in this moment is existing in many different realms all at once. Some of them you would think of as past, some of them you would think of as future. That there are aspects of yourself in many different dimensions, planetary systems, in and out of bodies, light bodies, physical bodies. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. And so here is a simple way to imagine all of this. If you imagine that all that is, that the infinite creator is like a massive diamond, a diamond that encompasses universes. And this diamond has billions upon billions of faces or facets. Can you imagine this diamond with this rainbow white light and these myriads of facets? Each one of you is a facet or a face on that diamond. Each entity that you speak to, such as Judah or the Pleiadians or the Arcturians or the Andromedans, they are simply an aspect of all that is. And so it is okay that you enjoy all of this, and it can be entertaining, we would say, and there are different aspects of wisdom and understanding that you can adopt. But it is all the one. And so most of you, when you hear a channel, understand that the channeler is likely channeling a past or future self. And they also you can look at any facet on this beautiful diamond. But what is it that you are looking at? You are looking at the glory of all that is, of a power that is beyond description, of a power that holds the stars in the sky, of a power that keeps the earth rotating without dropping down into an abyss of eternity. You see, it is glory, it is wonder, it is wonder. So if you speak to a being, an Andromedan or whoever this being you speak to, let it be because you want to see a smile of source, an aspect of source, an understanding of source that you've never yet experienced. Let it be for that.
Beautiful. Oh, that's beautiful. I can feel what you're saying, Judah. And that was an incredible answer. I'm just taking a moment to digest that. That it's almost like, and I love diamonds. I think we all love diamonds, right? So like that little facet that maybe, I haven't seen before. There's wisdom from all of the facets. That's a beautiful metaphor. I am wondering if you, via Anjie, if there's a light being or a being that our listeners would recognize that would want to come through you. I know you're the bouncer. I love that at the door. And I won't actually make a suggestion. I'm going to just ask if there is one that's showing up, one or two that's showing up that would like to share a message with our beautiful, soulful community. I can feel millions of souls listening, and not even just today, but in the future. And so just going to ask, is there a being here that's at the front of the line that you're going to allow in, that's got a VIP pass that we can get a message from?
Hello, dear Julie. We are the 3 Pleiadian sisters.
Hello, and thank you.
We are a 9th dimensional collective. We operate as a triune or a trinity, and we have representatives from 3 of the Pleiadian stars in the star system. We are happy to be of service to you in any way that we can. Please ask any questions that are pertinent to you or your friends.
Thank you so much for showing up. I feel your energy immediately. Can you share and explain more about where you come from? Where is it located? What does it look like? Who are you? And what is the 9th dimension?
Well, we would say that any soul in any place in time, in any location, can become in any moment a 9th dimensional being, as you would say. In other words, each and all of you have the capacity to enter any dimension. Yes, it is more difficult as a human to maintain a status in a 9th dimension frequency because of the nature of your physical body and the density of the energies of Earth. However, it is possible, and it does happen, and we usually recommend that be for limited periods of time because of the influence on your body. However, there are many who have volunteered in this season of your time to become a new human who will be able to sustain longer, more extended periods of time in a 9th dimensional frequency. So we would encourage you to think of these dimensions, such as this 9th dimension from which we speak, less of as a location, as a frequency. Yes. And so we as a collective are from the Pleiades, as we shared from 3 stars there. We work together as a ambassadorial council in a teaching role and as wisdom keepers for many people. This vessel is one of those for many persons in or souls in many different realities and star systems. And we are able to maintain, it is our consistent, we would say the air that we breathe is this 9th dimensional frequency, which is a much higher band than, as we said, you are typically used to. Our collective is you would say, a melting pot, or you might say a hodgepodge of many different species from many different star systems. So we do not have in our collective a specific look, you might say, that you would identify. Our bodies are very light, very much transparent, translucent, you might say, full of light, much less cumbersome and dense than yours. And we have many different forms. There are in our collective many, you would call them immigrants, I believe. Yes, so we have Zeta Reticuli here, reptilian friends. We have fairy friends. There are just really too many to delineate for you, but we are a melting pot, yes, of many different stars species. Now, what makes us different from, let's say, our experience different from yours? In our collective, our emotions are very stable. You would call it peaceful. We are quite ineffable, meaning we, as you would say, don't get our feathers ruffled about things. We don't have the emotional spectrum that you do in that regard. We are fairly, yes, straight on, tried and true in this sort of energy that we are presenting to you in this moment would be almost encompass all of our emotional energy is presented in this way.
Beautiful. What can we do you talked about maintaining the frequency as human beings. We're in a denser frequency here, reality here. What can we do with the bodies, with the minds, with the complex mind-body complex we have? What can we do to start to shift our frequency so that we can tap in to you and your guidance?
Well, we would say if this is important to you, we would recommend that you be very intentional stewards of your energetic environment. Yes, the environment of your home, the environment of your workplace, the environment of the media that you consume, and so on. Really, all that is needed for one to be elevated into our frequency in this 9th dimensional frequency is to steward their energetic environment well for a period of time to sustain and maintain this high vibrational frequency. Yes, and we have found that there is a great pressure or tide, an influence in the human experience to imbibe on lower, denser frequencies. And it can be very difficult for humans to give up these lower frequencies, entertainment, music, movies, and different things that are fear-based in nature. However, to anyone who commits to steward their energetic environment well and maintain a very high frequency and energy state, this type of communication can become very easy, effortless, regular, normalized, we would say.
Is this the enlightenment that we've seen with some of our greatest teachers, like, Christ consciousness, Yogananda, many, many others that have come through? Is what we're seeing, these great leaders and teachers tapping truly into the ninth dimension, the higher frequencies? Is that, as humans, what we've witnessed and trying to teach us we can do that as well?
Yes, certainly. So everyone in our culture then here would be to you likened to one of these ascended masters. And yes, these masters that came to you and dwelt with you and now dwell in many places in the multiverse are masters of their energetic environment, their internal and external vibrational state. They mastered the mind, mastered the emotion. One area in which we can offer our assistance, anytime you are interacting with the Pleiadians, there is potential there for you to inherit or learn or simply take on the energy of this peaceful emotional stability. And so anytime you are feeling emotionally awash or overcome or reactive in an emotional state that you do not desire, that is not in alignment for you, we can be of assistance in that way. And so, yes, all of these enlightened masters are able to, this is characteristic of what it means to be a master, they are able to maintain and live consistently in this higher frequential state, which we also are akin to. It is our home. It is our vibrational home. It is our usual state of being. And humanity, as this vessel has shared many times through Judah has shared, humanity certainly has potential to be ninth dimensional or any higher dimensional frequency. Humanity has the potential to be a race of enlightened masters, an entire race of enlightened masters. We are using that word because that is a term that is common to you.
I get curious. Well, first of all, thank you, and love this reminder that the potentiality is there for us to be a race of this, not just one, not just two, not just a few, all of us.
Yes.
I also want to note your energy. I can feel a huge shift from when Judah was here. It
Yes.
is peaceful, and you can feel it's like the way I always feel your energy. It almost feels like a light pink cloud, fluffy,
Yes.
just very it's harmonious. It's very harmonious.
Yes, that
So
is correct.
yeah, and I'm sure anyone tuning in can feel this. One last question for you, and this is probably the big question that's on many minds and hearts. For those of us anyone tuning in, I know anyone tuning in right now is here because we want to make a difference. We want to add light. We want to be in a higher consciousness. We want to move into a humanity that is enlightened. And, when you look at what's happening right now, there's a lot of hot spots in the world. I won't focus on any particular. However, you don't have to look far to see flares, I'll call them, and strife and fear and anger and warring. And that could be everything from the individual who's stuck in drug addiction or whatever that might look like to, countries that are not being kind to each other. is very subtly put, and even within our own different government systems and different views, there's just, you can see that. And I know there's also a lot of change happening. However, from your frequency standpoint, what are you seeing, and what can we do to do our part, coming from that loving, harmonious, that energy we're talking about of peace? What can we each do when, even if we're not watching the media? I really heard that importance of managing our energy. But what can we do to make an impact here?
Yes, well, one thing we will share that is a practical note that we have shared through this Cecil before. Her practice, her personal practice, is to not watch any news outlets at all. She will simply read the headline only and not the text. Yes? And then set your intention to create what you want instead. And we know that this is not the answer that many want to hear, because their heart is broken for many of the hurting in the world. This is one of the things that we love about humanity, is their compassion. However, wars cannot be healed through resistance. Wars are healed through peace. And so to bring yourself into a state of complete internal peace is the primary task. And to cease all wars within yourself, to forgive yourself, to accept every part of yourself, even though parts that you deem unlovely or wrong or lacking in some way, to bring all the aspects of yourself into peace. Yes? And so when you imagine two nations at war, understand that this is a reflection, a mirror of the war within your own being. Yes? Between your own light and dark aspects. And so beginning to love all of your aspects, all of your parts. Yes? And bringing them into peace. And understand the power of meditation and prayer. There are many places on the earth that have been transformed through committed meditators and committed prayers. And this is a fact, that they have lessened crime rates, lessened disease, lessened suffering through their corporate and collective prayer and meditation. So never underestimate the power of maintaining your own internal state of peace and meditating. This is how all victories are won. We will tell you it is very possible for war to be only something written of in the annals of history for humanity. It can be a thing of the past.
Yeah, may it be so. And just as somebody, and I know many listening, I have been working through A Course in Miracles, which was channeled supposedly through Jesus, the Christ energy, and
Yes.
everything you're saying is completely aligned with those works, which I know date back to even before his time. This power of love and forgiveness in the mirror, that everything is a mirror. You can't heal war with war. It has to come from peace. That's what I'm hearing you say. And so interesting, because your energy, I mean, I can feel it, and I'm wondering for all of us, sometimes I get caught up on the name. Like, would we just call you in as the Pleiadian Three Sisters? How do we start to connect with you? Because I believe you're showing up here today for a reason, for us to really call you. This energy is, I mean, I can feel it, is so healing. It makes me want to cry. It's so beautiful.
Yes. And so you may simply ask for your consciousness to locate the consciousness of the three Pleiadian sisters, and you will feel a distinct difference, a lightness, a femininity, and a deep, we will use your word, motherly comfort. And as we mentioned before, we are especially helpful to quiet your emotional state of being and to help you acquire stability and self-control over your emotional state.
Beautiful. I just want to thank you all, and Judah, and I will just ask whoever, if it's you, the three Pleiadian sisters, or Judah, or another being that wants to make a cameo, just before we close, I'd really love to ask if there's a message. Maybe there's a question I didn't ask, or you can feel through space and time, every single human being's soul that's watching or tuning in. Is there something, a message to share that that would really touch everybody's heart right now?
Yes, we are Lars of Arcturius, and we would like to speak to this audience. We are commanders of the Arcturian nation in oversight to the earth. And we want you to know that all things are in hand. This is what we most want you to know. No one is asleep at the wheel. There are very powerful, loving, wise beings who are giving oversight to everything happening in the realm of heaven, what you would call heaven, to your earth. Yes. And so we are mindful. We work in conjunction with Mother Gaia and with many other beings within the Galactic Federation of Friends. And there are differences of opinion within our ranks about how to address various issues upon the earth, but we are all 100% committed to unity of purpose and to doing what is best in the best interest for Earth, for humanity, and for the universe at large in regards to how the Earth and humanity impact the universe at large. When we speak of the universe, we are speaking of the universe as you know it and understand it. But we want you to be at ease and to know that there are wise, loving beings at the helm, wiser, really more beyond your comprehension. Yes? And everything is fine. The children are playing on the playground, and the teacher is watching with a watchful and loving eye. We are happy to give you our assistance. We are always available. You may call on any aspect of the infinite creator, and we will express the authority, divinity, glory, representation of the one infinite creator being. And you can, if you so desire and so choose, learn the attributes of various beings and call upon them as you need. For instance, if your pipes are broken, you call a plumber. If your house needs cleaning, you call a housekeeper. If your car is broken, you visit a mechanic. And so you can, if you so desire, begin to form relationships and connections with various entities and call upon them as you so need. Yes, and we are Lars of Arcturus, and our primary benefit and offering to you is wisdom and insight and authority over the heavens surrounding the earth and the activities directly related to and correlated with a heavenly atmosphere around the earth. We are the guardians and gatekeepers. We ensure that there is nothing invasive happening that will destroy or derail in any way the evolution of humanity. And all things are in hand. All things are in hand. We are confident that we are protectors for this space for you all. Mhm.
Wow. Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All of the different facets of the diamond, all of the leaders and the beings, ARCTURIANS, the three Pleiadian sisters, Judah, Anjie, of course. Thank you for this stunning conversation. I absolutely know is going to uplift spirits and open hearts and create more connection with our family, with our light family. That's how it feels. It's like our light family is way bigger, way bigger.
Oh, so amazing.
Yeah. Thank you.
We're
What
so
a
supported. We are so supported, and I encourage anybody that, a common thread I hear with so many people I work with, Julie, is that they feel lonely. And I understand, we can get isolated, especially as we're on this spiritual journey. That it's hard sometimes to find people that understand us, that we can really relate to. But know that we are so supported. You are so supported. When you feel alone, know that that is a lie. It's not true. And just reach out and ask for help, and you will tangibly, physically feel that presence come in and feel that support.
Yeah, so powerful. I am so grateful to you. And honestly, this reminder, this is for everyone. We're talking to you. Yes, you. Even if we got these comments, I tried and I couldn't channel and I couldn't. Just keep at it, because we all have that ability. You've said that all of the wise light beings came in, have said that over and over again. We're meant to, we ourselves are connected to source. We have that ability. It just might take a little practice and time, that we're meant to do
That's
this.
right. And take the pressure off. Take the pressure off. Like, imagine if you were in a dating relationship and, in the first date, you told this person, I need you to marry me and stay with me until we die at age 95. And you have to be willing to have at least 2 children. And imagine if you put all that pressure right on the first date. It's a little bit much, right? So we have to learn to do that with our angels and guides, just to relax and enjoy, and just be wherever we are in the relationship, and give the relationship time to grow without putting too much heat on it at the beginning. And just, feel the energy of the communion. Angels are here. They're not primarily here to tell us some earth shattering message. They are here to love us and support us, and to be our friends, and to be in relationship with us. 9 times out of 10, when I help someone start channeling for the very first time, you know what the first things out of their mouth are? We love you. We're here. We've always been here. And, so don't worry if there's not any big extravagant words or messages. Just feel the love, and just let them love on you and heal all those hurting places in you, and raise your vibrational level, and just enjoy communing with them, just like you would on a date. Just, how sweet it is that first time you hold hands, or that first time that you hold each other in an embrace. Just enjoy it, right? Don't put too much pressure or expectation on it.
I'm pausing really quickly. I want to share something very exciting. There are some changes coming to the USG podcast. We are going to be adding a Divine by Design segment, where we are going to be collecting your sacred stories, your signs, your synchronicities. These are the kinds of experiences that give goosebumps, that when you hear them, your mind is blown. So if you would like to submit one of your sacred stories, go to juliereisler.com/share. There you'll find a form. You can fill it out, upload your 2 to 3 minute video. We will be watching and going through all of the submissions, and hope to share your sacred story and shine your light on this community, because in truth, we are all divine by design, and we rise together in community. We are about uplifting consciousness and sharing these beautiful, powerful synchronicities and sacred signs and stories. This is what helps to build our faith muscle. So I hope to get a submission from you, my friend. And as always, thank you so much for being part of this beautiful community. Oh, I love that. Can feel that. That is such wisdom. And I feel like that is like the perfect moment to just leave everyone is it just go in with that joy and relaxing and to being known that you're loved. And that's
Yeah,
not only is that enough, that's everything.
it is.
That's everything. Anjie, my gosh. I mean, and we talked, who knows, maybe we will do some fun things, more fun things together, even have you back again. You are such a joy, such a light. You feel like a soul star seed sister from other dimensions in this one. And I know anyone that's listening is gonna tap in and feel you and your heart. And thank you for bringing in these beautiful beings and reminding us we are all able to do this. And I know you have so many great courses, and I'll have all of that information in the description, especially in YouTube, and then for the podcast show notes. And I just thank you so much for stepping forward and being willing to allow yourself out of the spiritual closet and fully open to really being a wise keeper, a wise leader here.
It's a pleasure, sister. Thank you for having us. It's a pleasure and an honor.
Thank you. And from both of our hearts, I will just say so much love to you, our beloved listener. Oh my gosh, we are all one. You're here because like attracts like. And as a light leader, there is no question in my heart, and I believe in Angie's heart, that you just keep loving up on yourself and remembering your USU is literally, as Anjie said early on, and we've said many times, it is your higher self. It is the essence of you and the many, 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 many lives you've lived. It is always here for you. And may you be blessed. May you know that you are loved, and sending you light and blessings always. My dear soul friend, that conversation, was it not mind-blowing? I am so grateful that you are here with me, that we get to be doing life together. I know there's so many other places you can be. Thank you for being part of this journey in being your youest you. And I want to share, if you loved this conversation, make sure you check out our first interview where I actually got to channel the Judah channel and Archangel Michael with Anjie guiding me. It was so powerful. The information will be in the description on YouTube. And if you loved this, please check out my YouTube channel. Make sure to subscribe, ring the bell so you're notified with new interviews and episodes. I have many, many, many conversations here with spiritual luminaries and just incredibly wise light leaders. And I know if you're here, like attracts like, you are also one yourself. So from my heart to yours, I hope that this added more light and love and deeper connection to your soul. Speaking of, if you would like a really beautiful, powerful spiritual oasis, a home away from home, and you're looking for a place to be with other light workers, to really work on your own, building your intuition, learning how to trust it so you can overcome self-doubt, building your manifestation toolbox, learning how to tap into sacred geometry and align your energy and chakras. If you're interested in anything like that, come check out my newest community. It's called the Sanctuary for Lightworkers. I will also be doing special intuitive guided messages just for those in the sanctuary. Just go to juliereisler.com/sanctuary or look at the description below. And as always, I'm so grateful to be here with you. So much love. So honored to be part of your journey in being your most authentic self and in loving yourself fully and in being, of course, your USU.